Madam Covines Mwengwe, pardon me, for another wonderful session. Madam Covines, welcome back.
Welcome back, sir. Thank you.
People are saying they are being blessed, and we just want more of that. Okay. We thank God. So now, we want to look at what happens during therapy sessions. Somebody's asking, so what happens during therapy sessions? Because some would like to make a booking with you so that you could help their family. You know, we have families that might have a challenge with one of their sons or daughters, and they are looking forward to being helped. So what happens during therapy sessions?
Thank you so much. So I know many people out there, they're very anxious when it comes to what happens during a therapy session. So when a client comes, to a therapy session, we welcome them, we greet them, we make them feel comfortable, so that as we begin these therapy sessions, someone is very calm. Yes. And then once they are calm, we ask them, what brings you here? Problem statement. So a client will
the first one is a problem statement.
Exactly. Problem statement. And before we even come to the problem statement, we even make it clear to them about confidentiality.
Okay.
Yeah, so that whatever happens during the session, it will just be between me and the client, unless if there is a threat of suicide or danger. Okay. That's when I can bleach the information. But again, I'll tell my client to say, this is what can happen if there is this, so that a client becomes aware.
Yeah, confidentiality definitely is of paramount importance, because even from the biblical perspective, Jesus was a man of confidentiality. There was one time he went with some of his disciples, to the mountain to pray, and and there, Jesus and his disciples experience that glorious moment, and the disciples began to make statements like, Master, oh, this is so nice and precious, how that it will be good that we make a house, one for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah, at the Mount of Transfiguration. And Jesus said, whatever you have seen here, whatever you have experienced, let no man know about it. What was that? That was confidentiality. And so I'm just trying to relate what you're talking about in terms of confidentiality. That is a biblical thing. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, so confidentiality, is one skill that will make clients being able to open up, so that as we begin the problem statement, a client will be able to express themselves freely. Yeah, so from the problem statement, then we build a contract with a client.
Okay.
Building a therapy contract with this client. So we do that by giving information of what happens during the therapy session. So as we are giving this information, we'll also tell a client, about psychological assessments. There are some questions that we ask so that we know, like the disorders that we're just from looking at. If someone is having anxiety disorders, we'll ask these questions. What triggered you? When was the first time when you noticed that you had this problem? How has it impacted your life? How do you think that this is a problem? So when we ask those questions, it will even help us to know the type of treatment that we are going to give to this client. Yes. Then we also teach a client about a journal, journal writing.
Yes.
Yeah. So journal writing is also a very powerful tool that one can use when it comes to their healing process. They'll be writing about daily activities, what happens in that particular session.
Right.
Yes, and how it can be able to benefit one. For example, dear journal, my therapist has asked me to write down my thoughts in this journal through this journey that I've taken of healing this addiction, healing this disorder. So I know that this journey that I've started, it will help me with my healing process, and I'm supposed to be writing any thoughts that comes inside my mind, whether good or negative. I'm just supposed to be writing it down. Then if I've seen some improvements, I'm also supposed to be including it in my journal.
Right.
Or if I've had a relapse, I'm supposed to be including it in that journal.
Right.
So this is something that we teach. Then as we do that, we also teach these clients, like there's some also questions that we ask, like some scaling questions. For example, on a scale of, maybe 0 up to 10, where do you think your problem has reached? Yeah. So before me as a therapist, I tell that, okay, this is where my client's problem has reached when it comes to those assessment questions. A client himself will be able to judge himself according to where they think they've reached. And then we also, amongst the same thing, we also ask them about, with this journey that you've taken, where do you think you are? Like, how hopeful are you that you are willing to change on a scale of 0 to 10? Then someone will be able to say, no, checking that 0 is a point where someone doesn't have hope. Then 10 is a point where someone has more hope within themselves.
Right.
Yeah. So someone will be able to rate themselves, no, me, I think maybe I'm at 0 because I just feel so hopeless. Or someone will be able to say,
there's no way out of this situation.
Or someone will say that, okay, me, I'm on 8. I've said so because I've tried by all means to work on it, but I just want someone to help me. I'm at 8, but I can be able to reach 10 because there is you helping me out. Yeah. Then the other thing that we do is defining a goal.
Defining a goal.
Yes. Yeah. This is very vital in a therapy session. We need to define a goal.
A goal.
Now the question is, who defines this goal?
This goal.
Yes. So a client defines his or her own goal before I define for them.
Right.
I would give an example. Yes. Let's say, Apostle, you invite me to dine with you this evening at your home.
Yes.
Then you say, Therapist Covenants, come join me this evening. I'll prepare, this very exquisite food that you're going to enjoy. Then when you invite me there, let's say you prepared shima and beef. Then you say, let's eat. Then upon opening, I tell you that I don't take beef. Yes. Then you say, I'm really sorry, therapist. The next time you invite me...
Hopefully that's not the only relish available.
Yeah. Then you say, the next time you invite me, therapist, I'm going to do a very good job.
Yes.
I'm going to prepare something that you are going to enjoy. Then the next time you invite me again to dine with you, you cook goat meat and beef and shima, you serve me. Then I tell you, Apostle, this one again, no.
I don't eat.
What do you think the problem is there? It's because you didn't ask me.
Exactly.
Yes, what I want.
So defining a goal is critical.
Yes, it's the key, when it comes to therapy. So same applies to therapy. A client defines his or her own goal. So this goal, it will be a key for these sessions that we'll be having. Yes. So a client will be able to say, what has brought me here is depression, or I'm addicted to this, and I want to quit this behavior. They'll give themselves a time frame, because when it comes to goals, there are short-term goals, there are mid-range goals, there are long-term goals. Yes. So a client will set up a long-term goal, but because the problem that they're having is very compulsive, so they can't start working on a long-term goal. So we'll tell them again to define a short-term goal. For example, like for a week, how can someone be able to control those things? Yeah. So if someone defines this goal, maybe let's say for a week, within this week, I'll stop masturbating. I'll stop doing some certain behaviors. So that is definitely going to help one. Yeah. Then the other thing that we do, we ask them some miracle questions. There's some miracle questions that will happen. We ask them, like those people who believe in miracles, they believe people, they're coming from different churches. Yeah. For example, if you sleep at night, then this miracle happens. Then in the morning you wake up that this problem is taken away from you. How can you feel? So such kind of questions, they're able to give someone hope to say, the next day,
Mhm.
my problem is going to be out.
Yeah.
Yes. Then we also give assignments.
Mhm.
We also give some questions, some tasks that someone can be doing while it's at home.
Right.
Then we also ask clients to give us the feedback.
The feedback.
At the end of the session, how was the session?
Mhm.
Then we also tell a client, the feedback that they'll be giving should be negative or positive.
Mhm.
If maybe me being a therapist, I said something that has injured my client, they
Mhm.
should be open enough to tell me what you said,
said.
I didn't like it,
Yeah.
or I've loved A, B, C, D,
Mhm.
and the recommendations next time, if you could have said this, you could have felt much better.
Mhm.
Then during the sessions that we start begin, we'll tell them that, they need to be telling us something, that they would want me to include during that session.
Right.
I've seen one client, he said, okay, me, I'm a believer, so I'd love each and every time we start therapy, you need to be allowing me to pray.
Mhm.
I did that. Then again, we also teach them about maintenance treatment, how a client can be able to maintain their treatment, and how a client can be able to prevent relapses in case they're having a relapse.
Yeah.
What can they do? Do they have to give up, or do they have to continue?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, that's very, very interesting. Now, your job is very cardinal in society. As professionals from the medical point of view. But doesn't that put you under a serious risk? I mean, you're talking about somebody who is having challenges with mental issues, and maybe they haven't reached a stage where they have to be taken to, for example, Chainama Hospital for assessment and so on and so forth. And then probably you're having an encounter for the first time with them as a therapist. Doesn't that put you in danger?
There are some clients who are aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I said, the other show, I said when it comes to treatment, it's not all about me, a therapist. So
Mhm.
there'll be others first.
Okay.
Yeah, no wonder if you've seen, depending with how a client is looking, first impression really matters. Like the verbal, non-verbal cues. So
Mhm.
even if someone didn't say that I'm having this, through the way they're expressing themselves, we're able to tell. Yes.
Like the physical appearance, if they have come to you for therapy and probably they are wearing good clothes but they are dirty,
It's not really
you're able to...
It's not really sometimes about clothes, or maybe if someone is,
Mhm.
dark, light,
Mhm.
no. But these non-verbal cues, if someone is in a good mood, you'll be able to see them smile when you're talking to them. Someone is frustrated, you can be able to tell from the way they are responding to you.
Mhm.
Yes. So in this therapy, there'll be doctors, there'll be nurses, and also a therapist. Because when one comes to the hospital, they're being handled by different people. Yeah. So if I say, because when assessing, I can be able to tell that, no, there is danger. And then I can be able to call in a third person or second person to be
all right.
helping me out.
And how do we really give a good definition of therapy? What is therapy?
Therapy is a relationship that a client and the therapist share in order to work towards certain goals, which are aimed at helping a client to change certain behaviors or the way they are feeling, so that they can be acting in a normal way. So therapy and counseling, they are quite similar, though with therapy it's more advanced. Because
than counseling?
Yes.
Okay.
Because in therapy we provide different therapy skills, different therapy skills. We apply different therapy, like theories of therapy. Then in therapy, that's where we also bring in mindfulness, assertiveness. We bring in self-awareness in those issues.
So what is the importance of therapy? For somebody who's watching, they would like to get the nitty-gritty of what therapy is all about.
All right. So many people, they always think about therapy, someone who's having a disorder, someone who's having a problem. Even if your mental health is very healthy, you need therapy.
Okay.
Yes. So the importance...
You have to say that again. Even if you feel healthy,
yes,
all
very
right,
healthy,
you
still need therapy.
Why?
Yes, because it's going to help you with your daily life. For example, even if you're feeling healthy at that particular moment, but just seeing a therapist, talking to someone, it will make you have, it will make you feel so nice, more calm, give you more hope, just talking to someone. Sometimes even if you're happy, you can be coming to me, you see me, you tell me about that particular moment, what is it that makes you happy? Also contribute more to what can also be helping you. Then for those people who are having challenges, therapy is very vital because it will help you with overcoming your habits. It will help you with controlling your illnesses that you're having.
And what are some of those habits?
It could be, drug abuse,
abuse,
eating disorders.
And this is a very cardinal point when you talk about drug abuse. A lot of youngsters, girls and boys, are using drugs. And what about those ones we meet in town now? People have gone to an extent of calling them majunk. These are youngsters who are living in the streets, almost in different parts of our country, and somehow we seem to be keeping a blind eye on them, and then all we can do is to taunt them and mock them and tease them. Majunk, sokani hapa, but that is drug abuse. And what do you think can be done on that?
Such kind of people, they need to be shown care. I love how I usually carry it myself. I don't mind who I'm talking to. When when I want to board a bus, like the conductor becomes my friend.
Right.
Any place where I am, any person, even from those people you call junks, there's something that you can learn from them. They might have those disorders, but there's something that led them into that, and something that made them like that. But there's some goodness in them, No matter how bad a person can be, but there's just something good in them. So with me being a therapist, I don't see bad in people. I see the goodness in them. So if someone is behaving in such kind of manner, it makes me develop interest of approaching this person, so that I can know how to be handling this person. For example, I've been volunteering at our hospital. There's a same guy. He's not liked by many people, because he's aggressive. So I've been telling him, no matter how many times you can try to chase me, there's just something good in you, and sooner or later you're going to discover that. Just because I'm able to talking to him. So he said,
is there progress now? There's progress.
Even if he's still having those, because I didn't start therapy with him, but I am able to get
just
him,
talk to him,
like he is. Then there's also one guy again. People usually call him, no, this one is mad. Now you stop associating with him. But me always say, no, this person is okay, quite alright. He's having this illness, and it's not every time that the illness will be more aggressive, but I'll be able to talk to him. Sometimes we'll just get something going, by this, let's eat together. So people will think of me, maybe you also go mad when you're such kind of person. I'm seeing good in someone, and seeing good in these people with these illnesses is something that will draw them more closer to you, and it's something that is even going to make them to open up to you. And then once they open up, you need to refer them somewhere. If you feel you can't be talking to those people you see in the streets, you need to be referring them somewhere so that they can get the help that they need.
Wonderful. Brilliant. Now we talk about mindfulness. Mindfulness, what is mindfulness?
Mindfulness is a skill that is aimed at, being in connection with the mind and the body, staying in the moment at that particular time. So this is a very vital skill that everyone out there, including me, I need to be practicing. It's very important. So
let's talk also about the importance of mindfulness. What is mindfulness and the importance of mindfulness?
So mindfulness is very important when it comes to knowing how to handle life issues.
All right.
Yes. Because we looked at self-awareness. So once you're aware about these disorders or about anything that can put your life at risk, then you also put in this mindfulness. So this skill will help you to be connected to your mind and your body. What is it that is happening at that particular moment while where you are right there? And how can you be able to control your mind and your body so that the things that usually happens there, they shouldn't affect your mind and they shouldn't also affect your body. So when you stay in the moment, it will help you. You know, one thing that has been making most people to have anxiety disorders, intense feelings of worry is because they always think too much about the future. And when someone starts thinking too much about the past, someone will have depression, low moods. No, last time they did that to me, maybe they're going to do it again. So with mindfulness, you don't look in the future, you don't look in the past, you just stay in the present.
You mind what is happening today.
Just there and then.
As also the Bible says, do not worry about anything.
Yes, do not be anxious.
Don't be anxious, because anxiety won't add anything to you.
Exactly.
So think about today. God can provide for today. So,
tomorrow.
And tomorrow, look at the birds of the air, the lilies of the valley. Look at the animals in the bush. In the wild, they don't grow crops, but God looks after them. He clothes them, so we take each day as it comes. Mindfulness, that's very, very important. So you don't look at the past because it causes you depression. You also don't focus on the future, what will happen now. You're worried about your kids, you're worried about yourself. That's important. Please continue.
Yes. And then with mindfulness, it also helps people to be redirecting their attention on something else.
Okay.
You'll be able to redirect your thoughts on something else. For example, if someone annoys you or someone utters a bad word on you, if you focus much on that thought, it's going to start affecting you.
Right.
No wonder people really have, hypertension.
Yes.
Hypertension,
Yes.
heart attacks. It's because they allow such thoughts to start ruling their entire system. But if someone can be able to redirect their attention to something else, that is definitely going to help them feel better. So in mindfulness, like I said, it's a skill. So we bring in things that are going to help this client, when it comes to focusing at that particular moment. For example, in this studio, there's this that I'm having. So there's this spoon and this cup. So in here, someone can put water or anything, even just this, the way it is. Or maybe you can have some food here. So with mindfulness, let's say someone utters a bad word on me, or let's say thoughts of me wanting to maybe watch pornography or maybe masturbate or maybe do some form of abuse comes in. So if I start focusing much on that thought, it will make me do it. So I need to redirect my attention
to something
What
else.
is it that I'm seeing at that particular moment? Any place where you are. Remember those 5 senses from school?
Yes.
Touch, sound, taste, smell, and sight. So those senses, they are very vital in mindfulness and in helping someone with these illnesses or anything that is happening in their life. So like someone does that, or maybe this desire comes into me, I need to redirect. Oh, what's this I'm seeing? This is a spoon. Yeah, this is a spoon. Okay, how was this spoon made? What kind of things did they use to make this? Okay, what kind of shape is this spoon? So by telling your mind, focusing on this spoon, mean that those thoughts that I had of masturbating, those thoughts that I had of watching pornography or abusing drugs.
And this is a very, very critical point you have mentioned, masturbation and pornography. It's a very important topic that must be dealt in probably in the future. But for now, you can shed more light, because a lot of young people are having such huge problems. A lot of young people, youngsters, both male, female, and I think they need to listen to that. Go ahead.
Yes. So when someone directs their attention to this spoon, like the shape, what color is it? So it will, like the focus won't be on that sexual desire that they had, won't be on that illness, it will be on this. And the mind is very tricky. What you tell the mind, that's what it will do.
Yeah, whatever you feed your mind.
Yes, that's what it will do. So if those thoughts came in, then you are able to redirect. This is the cup, this is how it was made. Or if maybe there is water in here, we also teach people skills, the way they're drinking water. We don't just drink water like, you don't just
in
eat.
Bemba we say chilo she just
We don't do that.
yeah,
So,
you sip,
not really sipping,
even sipping.
like when you're drinking water, before you do that, you need, like the 5 senses. I want to teach you something here. The 5 senses.
Yes.
The first thing that comes in mind is the sense of sight.
Yes.
This is a cup.
Yeah.
Sense of sight. Your mind has been able to redirect to this.
Right.
Yes. Then once you do this, it's the sense of touch.
Touch. Yeah.
You've touched, you say, okay,
So
I'm
sight,
applying now
touch.
this sense of touch. Then once you do this, the sense of taste.
Taste.
How does this water taste?
Oh, it tastes
Okay.
nice.
Yes.
It's not bitter.
Yes. Then once, even like when you are sipping, like that sound,
Yeah.
sense of sound.
Sense of
Yeah.
sound.
And like when the water is flowing, all those things, you're able to listen to them, what is happening. That's mindfulness. So as people are doing that, it will help them to stay at that particular moment.
Right.
And they'll be able to at least be able to control their emotions when it comes to such habits.
Now this is very very important. Now talking about the issue you talked about, some people are shy to come for therapy sessions, especially if somebody has a problem of pornography, masturbation. How can such people be helped?
Yeah, that's very true. A number of people, if you look at, according to statistics, ladies, they're into much pornography and they don't want to show it out there that they're into it.
Okay.
Yeah, women, so to say, they're into it. Yes, and the best thing that they need to do, they don't need to hide about their disorder. Yes, because even if we're not looking at porn, just to give them an overview of what really happened. These disorders, they're very much serious.
Serious.
Yes,
Yeah.
because there are levels of addiction from level 1 up to level 7.
Wow.
It starts as a normal thing. Quite alright, when it comes to the Bible, like masturbation is a sin. People say no, the spiritual world do something like that. Then into health, masturbation, they say it's very much healthy, it has benefits, but if it becomes a habit,
it's a problem.
It's a problem because it starts ruling you, it starts controlling you. Yeah, so if you're having this problem out there, you don't need to feel shy because it's not you only who is having such kind of a problem. Many people, females, males, they're having such kind of a problem. So what you need to do, you need to get yourself awareness. You need to know the effects of these addictions. You even need to know, what triggers you and the best kind of help that you can receive. So when you come to therapy, we'll also teach you a number of skills that are going to help you when it comes to beating those habits. Like depending with the level where someone is, the treatment will determine. You can imagine from 0, level 7, compulsive. Masturbation, compulsive, porn addiction. Yeah, it's a very bad level. Where someone's thoughts are always dominated by pornography. Yeah. So when you get yourself aware, like when you have awareness, it will definitely help you. Then with the treatment, we'll put, like I said, when it comes to forming goals, we say, okay, 3 months, you need to work on this. Then, okay, within 6 months, you work on this. Just like that, then someone will be able to be helped.
We're talking about mindfulness. How can someone practice mindfulness?
Right. So there are many ways in which someone can practice mindfulness. At any place where you are, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, you can practice mindfulness. For example, if you're walking down the road, you need to be enjoying your walk. There are some people, going for work.
So you need to enjoy your walk.
Yes.
Right. So at times we just walk anyhow.
Yes, I've seen a number of ladies, those who are made as like house assistants. Yes, they walk maybe from Chawama up to Chiblenje there.
Yes.
Even some people, those who are working in Kamala town,
Yes.
there are those who can't afford,
to catch a bus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they can be practicing this mindfulness. Some people, they've said, I'll just give up because I really feel tired
Some
walking
people,
a
they
long
say,
distance.
no, inenizo kwenda, simafuna, shifayo kwenda. So there's
It's
something like
because they lack awareness.
you can
Yes.
actually enjoy your walk.
Yes, very much. So
It's
when
health.
you're walking down the road, you need to start feeling the walk, the sensations inside your body, your thoughts, what are they telling you about that walk? Okay, what like when it comes to my body movement, how am I making my body movements? You're walking, then what is it that you're seeing at that particular moment? Why am I stepping? When you step down, you can learn something from there. Okay, this step that I've made, it can teach me something like this. How is the ground? Anything that you can see while you're walking, it should remind you of hope and being able to help you to enjoy that particular moment. Then even parents, when it comes to their kids' home, they can also practice that. Mindfulness is not all about adults. Even young ones, we teach them when they're watching TV, when they're playing, they can be able to learn something at that particular moment. When someone is eating food, they need to not just to eat to be full, not just to eat just to please the body. No, they need to eat to understand the sensations of food inside the body. And that to even make someone's mental health very healthy.
Wow.
It's something that people need to try.
Wow.
They are going to enjoy it.
So we shouldn't just be
practicing.
eating food so fast, so quickly, and you disappear. Well, Madam Coveness, it's been a pleasure talking to you. We'll definitely call on you. Many people out there are enjoying, and keep watching Delight Morning live show every Saturday morning, and keep watching Revelation TV. We take this opportunity to thank God Almighty, and of course our own CEO, Dr. Bishop Stanford Chifita, and Mama Joy Chifita, the entire TV crew and management here. God bless you. We love you. We'll see you again.